All right, I've got a question for you. Have you ever been staring into your breakfast bowl and just had a full-on existential crisis? No? Well, you're about to. Because today we are diving headfirst into something called the breakfast soup paradox.
Yeah, I know. It sounds completely crazy, right? But just stick with me here. The central question is this. Is a bowl of cereal, swimming in milk, technically a soup? That is the rabbit hole we are jumping into today.
Okay, let's dive into this. To solve this whole breakfast mystery, we kind of have to put on our detective hats. We're going to look at this from two completely different angles. First, the cold, hard facts, and then, the warm, fuzzy feelings of culture. So first up, we're going full-on science nerd here. We are going to break down the actual, textbook definition of soup and see if cereal even makes the cut. Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. Just take a look at the official definition. A liquid-based dish, often with solid ingredients suspended in it. Right, seems pretty straightforward. But here is the absolute kicker. It can be served hot or cold. That little phrase right there, that's a total game changer. So let's do a quick checklist, shall we? You've got a liquid base? Yeah, check, that's the milk. You have suspended solids? Check again, that's the cereal. I mean, come on, based purely on the technicals, it is a perfect match, no question. So, based on the evidence, I guess the verdict is in. Cereal is soup, case closed. Mic drop. Right? And yet, something feels off. I can practically feel you shaking your head right now. It feels so wrong, doesn't it? So what is going on here? What's happening in our brains that makes us want to reject this perfectly logical conclusion? Well, this is where things get a little messy, but, in a good way. Because it turns out we don't just define food with logic and dictionaries. We define it with our hearts, our memories, our culture. And this brilliantly illustrates the problem. When you think soup, what comes to mind? Probably something savory, right? Something warm, a cooked dish for lunch or dinner. But cereal, it's the polar opposite on every single one of those points. It's sweet, it's cold, it's uncooked, and it's pretty much a breakfast-only deal. And that right there, that brings us to the very heart of this thing, the breakfast soup paradox. It's this amazing clash between what our heads are telling us is technically correct and what our guts just know to be true. So let's just be crystal clear about this. On a purely scientific, technical level, yeah, cereal is soup. The science, it doesn't lie. But socially, in our culture, in our memories, in every fiber of our being, it's just breakfast. It is not soup. So the crucial point is this. This whole thing isn't really just about cereal, is it? It's about this fascinating, constant tug of war between definition and tradition, between what's technically true and what feels culturally real to us. So where does that leave us? What's the final takeaway here? What can we learn from this wild little thought experiment? I think this quote just sums up the whole debate perfectly. If soup is solids in liquid, cereal wins the case. But don't try ordering breakfast soup at a restaurant. And that's really it, isn't it? In the end, our culture, our traditions, they almost always trump pure logic. And that's the beauty of it, right? These delicious little paradoxes are hiding all around us in plain sight. I mean, is a hot dog a sandwich? Is a burrito a type of sushi? The food world is absolutely full of these questions if you just stop and think about it. It really makes you wonder, what other foods are hiding in plain sight?